Hey spuddies, PotatoMcWhiskey here, and welcome to Let's Play Stonehearth. Now we are continuing on our little desert town here, and we are in the process of moving goods in and out of... Wow, what are you moving? You're moving wood, okay. Oh, these people look a little bit downtrodden. Oh goodness. Raw meal, bland meals, discouraged, bad mood, had an unpleasant talk. Oh boy. People are a little bit upset, but I'm hoping that if I can get rid of the slept on ground thing and replace it on it with shared quarters, I think that might be a little bit better. I wonder why my mason is... Oh, invaders. Should be these little stone guys again. This guy's also a little bit depressed, which is kind of unfortunate. I'm gonna get an early herbalist. Actually, I think that's something I'm gonna see if I can get a second farmer and an early herbalist and a stonemason. So we're hammering away these guys. This guy, look, yeah, he's doing great. Doing a great job. You should feel proud of yourself. Although he, slept on ground is a pretty bad modifier. When are you going to actually build the beds? You're making a table right now. I'm really confused as to why you're going all the way in here to pick up the clay when there's perfectly good clay in your pots behind you. That's really confusing. So these guys are going to sit down on the only tables available, which hopefully will make them a little bit happier. The fatigued thing is probably hurting them too. I wonder, what are you doing in there, Mason? Potter, what are you making? What are you making, Potter? Why? Okay, now you're actually picking the stuff out of the pots. That's great. Let's speed up time here while they make the stuff that's going to be used. I want to get this guy finished up, I think, is the goal. I suppose there's no harm in getting to work on designing the stonemason's house. So again, I'm going to put a nice road in between these two houses. From here to here. 3 by 22. Like so. And that'll just act as spacing so that I can space out my buildings in a more logical fashion. Will I do this sort of thing again? You know what? I will. I will do this sort of thing again. I think I actually kind of like it. So let's do a sort of very similar kind of house. This one's going to use perhaps winter hazel, a slightly different color. Or maybe even we'll go for coffee cake. Yeah, that's a nice color. So we're going to start here. This is going to be a 4 by 5. And it's going to build up 3 times. Then it's going to start here, and it's going to be, I think it needs to be 11 by 11. Like that. I think that makes them the same size. And we'll double check and confirm all these things. We want a stairway here of the same coffee cake color. Oof, I don't want a giant ladder. See if I can get this. There we go, like that. That's what we want. That looks great. Looking good. I'm going to slap on a few extra little blocks here just to give it a little bit of character, Stick you like that. And then I'm going to actually turn this into a flooring situation, which will allow me to automatically place walls. Now the type of walls I'm going to do here, I'm going to do the columns out of coffee cake, and then I will do the pattern of rose rock coffee cake and this. Yeah, that looks great. I like that. Looking fantastic. So let's put the walls up now while we do the roof. I'm thinking we do... I think I did the light ash roof before, so let's see if we can maybe do this kind of a darker roof. What I'm going to do is I'm going to change the angle of it, and I'm going to extend it just to add a bit of character to different houses. Not like that. Whoops. The other way. I'll extend it out forward just to add a bit of character to the different houses, just so things look and feel differently at a glance. Even though they're essentially the same house, they should look and feel differently based on the colors and the choices that I made in the design. And then, you know what? Even to further differentiate it, we'll put a little full columns in here. Just to really make it stand out. aesthetically. So we can hide away these walls now. I think I'll do like this sort of thing. I wonder why this particular piece of roof went up higher. That's a little bit... Oh, because it went in between the slots. Aha. So maybe actually what I could do to rectify that is if I extend out this way. No, it looks like I'm just doomed to have it be that way. What if I were to change the rotation actually? Actually, that kind of looks a little bit better than this rotation. No. That's just fine. I'm happy with this. This is great. So let's do the doorway. Now this house is going to have a nice... Oh, I could do a big, huge door. Ooh. No, we'll do a small little green clay door. Boop, like that. We'll do some windows. I'm thinking green and red clay windows. They should be similar, but not exactly the same. And then on this one, I think maybe I'll do a more reasonable... I won't put a window there, and instead I'll put windows over here. I'll put a couple of red windows over here, just to make it stand out and look a little bit different. Now, in terms of the actual furniture, I want to hide away this slice, and I want to put in at least a bed, I think, and I kind of want it to mirror this other house a little bit, and there'll be a nice, nice little table over here in the corner. I'm thinking, is it 2 away from the wall or 1 away? It's 1 away from the wall, like right there, I think. Yeah. And then I will put a little, I'll rotate this like that. That looks great for now, and then we're going to put in some decorations. I'm thinking this house will get... Oh, a decorative plate. Can these be placed on the walls? I'm curious. They can be placed on the window slits. So this is more of like a... What if an unfired clay vase? Or perhaps a couple of flowers. What if I were to make this like this? Ah, yes. We'll put a couple like this just to liven things up. And then maybe to add a bit of character. We'll put a little cactus hanging at street level for people to appreciate as well. What else could we do? Oh yeah, I want some lights. I'm thinking we'll do a similar sort of thing over here. And then on the inside, we'll put a little light right there. Great. All right. So I'm happy with that house now, so far. So what I need to do is I need to lay down where the crafting area is going to be. And now this is going to be made out of sort of similar... Ooh, I think I clicked a button there. It's going to be made out of similar material as that this is made out of. So I'll get started with the outer area. I'm thinking we'll do a similar size like so. 11 by 11 looks like a good size. And then the inside will be rose rock, I think. Yep, that looks about right, I think. Yeah. And if it doesn't, it's okay if it looks slightly different. We're then going to be placing down our... well, let's do the big pots first, actually. So I'm thinking we'll do a couple big pots. Oh, you know what? Actually, let me move that over 1, 2, 3, like so. Then we will put down workbench, and then the other workbench will go over here. So that looks good to me as the mason's house. So let me get a full view look at it. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So we can let people get to work on that. Now it's going to be a lot of stuff needs to be built for this, but you know, it's going to be worth it in the long run. So I just want to check, is this all the one building? Yes. Now this guy is still working through making the other stuff. For example, the beds, the windows, the door, the clay chairs, and then it'll get to work on the clay bricks. In fact, I think I don't need to make that many clay bricks. So I'm going to delete those, and then we'll wait until this house says, "Oh, I need more clay bricks." And then we'll make a decision about how we go forward. But I'm really happy with this little town and how it's coming up already. I've got this well, this building needs to be finished, but people actually have a place to sleep, so I'm hoping that will bring the mood up of the town a little bit, because people were a little bit upset so far. Ooh, a trader approaches my town. If you're interested, if you make me 2 red clay doors, I'll come back in 3 days. 1 comfy bed. Oh, I'll trade for a comfy bed. So let me go into here, and I'm going to put 2 red clay doors as a crafting job, and then I'm going to drag it up all the way to the top so that it gets prioritized for that trading thing, just so we have it in the bank while we wait. Speed up time as people build. So this is where the mason is going to go. Now, I have a curious question for my mason. Did you actually build your workshop? And I don't think you did. I do not think you did. Oh, you know what I am gonna want to place around the town a couple of things. So what I'll do is I'll get you to make one of these. And I'm going to want to have bird baths and sort of stone decorations and stuff like that. Okay, daily update. Our food has fallen, but our net worth has increased. So I think that is kind of a signal that we might need another farmer. Footman level 1. So I think he leveled up just from... I think you get passive experience when you're a combat class now. I'm not really sure how that works. Now, the shared bed and the shared room negative is pretty bad, but it's not nearly as bad as the slept on the ground negative. Because I think it doesn't last as long and it doesn't hurt the guy as badly. Now the whole bland meal and the eating raw is not great either. But we're kind of progressing, and we're going to be getting closer to something resembling a reasonable place to be. It looks like my hearthlings do not have any work to do. Let me have a look at this. What do you lack? And it looks like you lack clay bricks. So I'm going to go in here to this potter's kiln and I'm going to say, hey, craft me 8 of these bad boys right now. And hopefully they will get prioritized and people will start building again. And then in the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the building mode. I'm going to edit these, and these are going to be made out of stone, actually. I think I'll make my pathways out of stone, because I could make them out of brick, but there's kind of a bottleneck for brick. I'll make these out of a nice volcano or rustic red. Rustic red looks great, actually. And then we're going to extend this outwards a little bit to join up with this guy. A rustic red color. Then we're going to continue the pathway out just a smidge here, and then we're going to run all along the back. Then we're going to want a pathway coming from the mine, I think. I think that's actually a perfectly reasonable thing to expect my town to do. And this will be a use for all of the stone that we have lying around so far. Make some pathways just so our people can get around our town a little bit quicker. So here's our pathways, and then I'm going to finish editing this, and that's going to take up 6 stone. It shouldn't be too hard to do, but people will get to work on it, no problem. Looks like this building actually still lacks, yeah, the potter's sign. That's not going to be made for a long time. So my farmer just hit level 2, which actually means, I think, that you can be leveled up to a cook. Yes. But we need to actually make the cook spoon. But we're going to be working on that soon. We're going to go for an early cook. I have a few things I want to get away and do. I think I'm going to be rushing a cook in this game. Doing some building. That's great. They're chopping away at the ground where the stuff is, where the stone is going to go. You reached pottery level 3, that's great. You can almost make stuff like the wall tile mosaic and stuff like that. Can I actually edit this building out of curiosity? I can't, which is odd. I'm not sure why you can't voluntarily add stuff in like furniture at the end of a building process. But we have made all of the pottery clay bricks, so they're going to get to work building this thing. I'll do a full building view so you can see the building be thrown up. I'm very, very happy with how this town is turning out so far. I think it's a great little town. It has a lot of potential. I could even put little decorative stuff on these two pathways. I like the idea of the raised houses. I like the fact that we have a sort of halting house, a place for people to eat and sleep, even if it's not a very, it's not a glamorous place for that to happen. There's somewhere for people to go. I think by last town, that was one of the things that really lacked, was there wasn't really a communal place for people to go if they didn't have their own place. That's kind of what this is designed to solve. I'm going to try and play on high speed as much as possible so that we can see more of the game's content. That's kind of like the plan. I played a lot of the last game in pause mode, and I played it. I slowed things down, and we'll be doing a little bit of that, but mostly we're going to be playing a little. We're going to try and play the game a little bit quicker. You can see all the crazy amount of ladders that is demanded by the these kind of weird roofs. Roofs. What is even the plural of that? I have no idea, to be honest. All right, we're making our pathways. We are. Ooh, the trading caravan. So do we actually have... Yes, we do. We have decorative things to sell. And that means we have decorative things to buy. Oh, I only need one of these. Edible when raw, barely, eat carefully, sweet and crunchy. So, what are we going to buy? I think I could use another farmer's hoe. So I shall buy one of those. Who is going to be my next farmer? So out of curiosity, where is my farmer and what is he doing? Is he sleeping? Sleeping on the job, and he can't quite manage these 3 fields. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab another person, perhaps. Ooh, Bumba, you look optimistic, and you've got... Ooh, wait, no, you're going to be my herbalist. Never mind. Zand, you're not very good at anything except for crafting. You're kind of average across the board, and you can carry a lot of stuff. You're a jokester. Yes, you'll make it go, but you have a really good skill here. I think Sen is kind of a generalist. I'll make them a farmer. They kind of have good skills in most things. So Sen, you're going to be my farmer. I think you're a conversationalist. Yes, and you're a pack rat, so you can carry a lot more stuff. So hopefully that works in your favor when you're farming. And this is what I was hoping, that they would continue this tradition. So what I'm also going to do is I'm going to place down another field. I think 2 farmers should be able to handle 4 fields, and we'll grow some corn. Just so we have a variety of foods available to us long term. Oh, does this house have requirements? The daily update. It's likely that we won't have enough stuff because of the food problem right now. Well, we're working on those things because once we get a cook, we're going to be reorganizing our town slightly. We're going to be doing an open town layout. We might like dig a pit along here or something. That actually seems like a good idea, to dig a little pit. Somebody suggested to me that the easiest way to defend your town is to just dig up the ground a little bit, and the goblins and stuff will have trouble walking past. So what I might do is I might like dig a trench from, this mountain to this mountain, and that'll kind of provide a bottlenecking effect, and they'll have to come from different directions, which will make it easier to defend. Looks like this roof is finished. It's a little bit awkward that the wall kind of came in here, but, what can you do? What can you do? I'm really happy with this house so far. It looks great. It's a very slightly different style from this house, but I think it came out looking awesome. Oh, the interior isn't finished. Oh. Do we lack, or is my potter asleep? I think my potter might be asleep. No? This is owned by the potter. Yeah. So what are you waiting for? Oh, we lack clay. I think we used up all of our clay. Well, in that case, it is time to go back to harvesting. We shall continue to mine for the glory of the Rayya's Children Empire. So they should all decide fairly soon that they want to be miners. Hopefully? Or maybe they're still placing stuff. Oh, right, they're still building this road. Which is perfectly reasonable because the road, once built, it will act as a speed boost for everyone. You can see how they pathway along the road because it's ever so slightly faster to do that. Oh, we've got invaders. Still dealing with these little stonelings, not too scared about that. But Dazin is doing a good job, actually. He's starting to level up quite a bit. I'm going to want to maybe see if I can get armor for him, but I think I might struggle for that. We do have raccoons and creatures out here, so we can make armor out of leather at some point. I'm going to want a herbalist soon too, so I think I might even make Bumba my herbalist next. I think that might be the next thing I build. But I'm going to want to, I want to have a look here, because I need to plan out where exactly I'm going to be placing my stuff, like the cook, stuff like the herbalist, and stuff like the weaver. The cook, the herbalist, and the weaver are all dependent on farming, and I'm going to want those somewhat near this area. So what I might do is I might have it be, if I go here, I could have it be all along here, and then have my farming be right up close to the water, and then maybe I could dig irrigation trenches, and maybe that could be interesting. Maybe we could try something like that. That could be cool. That could be pretty cool, I think. Okay, looks like we're digging up some clay and stuff like that. People are eating. It looks like my warrior, my footman. He's a little bit upset because he was hurt, but he should recover health. If I had a herbalist, I could speed up that, but I don't have a herbalist right now. My farmers are a little bit unbusy right now, so what I might do is I might stick down what's in here. A lot of stuff, actually. A lot of stuff is in there. Let's speed up time while we wait for these things to be finished. It looks like... What are you actually even working on? Let me have a look at the queue. So you're building... Okay, you're building up the things that we're going to be selling every day. That's perfectly reasonable to do that. Then you're also going to be working on these things. Now, these take a bit of time, and that's perfectly reasonable. Oh, the trading caravan has arrived. Now the question is, what do we want to buy? A lot of this stuff seems kind of rather expensive. I will sell my decorative stuff because that's what it's for, and I'll sell the fine clay chair. We're a little bit light on food right now, actually. That's kind of worrisome. Food is expensive off these guys though, so I don't think I'll buy any. Yeah, we'll leave that at that. And then this guy's going to get to work making these again because they're top of the queue, right? Yeah, that's perfectly reasonable. People are going to sleep. I'm a little bit worried about my food situation, though. I'm surprised the farmers aren't managing to keep up with this many people, even though we have an abundance of farms, I feel. Maybe they are, but maybe I'm wrong. Okay, so we have a daily update. Ah, we do have enough food. Never mind. The food must be just on the ground or something. I am going to get another hearthling. So this is Kenka Mea. And she is empathetic. Is really sensitive to the mood of the town, and it always seems to rub off on them. So I think what this means is if she's surrounded by happy people, she will be happy. And if she is surrounded by miserable people, she will be miserable. But I think it also seems kind of funny. She's an empathetic pessimist. So like... maybe she spoils the moods of everyone around her and then uses that as a justification for why she's in a spoiled mood. Perhaps. You know, I've known people like that. They're talking about wood. Oh, I guess maybe he was offering her some wood. And she rejected him. My goodness. Okay. Not quite finished here. Got some crafting. Okay, because I believe I'm still working on... Yeah. You're still working on making the trading goods, which, you know, that's perfectly reasonable. That's perfectly fine. It's just, you know, hurry up. Hurry up, please. I would like to get to the more important tasks. Well, those take a while to make. Maybe I will edit these. Maybe I'll edit these down. Just keep one of them in inventory. I think maybe 2 might have been a bit much. We need to just keep one of these in inventory and keep one of these in inventory for selling every day. Okay, but you're doing good work over here. Okay, actually my mason, I can actually get to work with my mason now. Because I actually have a workbench. So what I'm going to do is these pots are going to be for stone. 2 pots for stone. And then this workbench will lose its stone privileges. And the stone will be moved over here, I think, by the farmers who have nothing better to do because the crops aren't ready for harvesting. That's the great thing about our farmers is if there's nothing to do in the cropland, they'll move goods around in your town, which is really awesome of them. Look at all these people having chats. Looks like they're talking about some sort of decoration. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to say to you, hey, keep a couple of these bird baths in stock. And then I also want you to perhaps maintain a stone bench in stock. Then why don't you maintain about 5 of these cobblestone fences in stock and then 1 of these cobblestone gates. And this will just give the mason some basic stuff to work on while they level up. It's really disconcerting, the floating, the sort of hollow nature of when you look at these things. They're talking about the new windows. That's awesome. It looks like there are a couple of windows missing from here, but I think my clay person is doing good work. Yep, almost finished through the queue of things to do. Looks like people are eating up food and getting ready to go to bed. Oh, this pot should also be for these things. Right. This gives him a place to put it. Or her. I think it's a girl that's a stonemason. Ah, we just finished one of the windows. It's great news. Looks like the stone is being deposited and moved around my town. That's also really great news. Looks like the gourds are being harvested. Oh, the caravan returns at really odd times. It seems to come like in the middle of the night, weirdly. I'm going to sell off these things. Because they offer me an opportunity to perhaps buy things that I might need at a future date. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the placement mode. I'm going to place a couple of bird baths and beyond. I'm going to place a couple of bird baths. I think what I'll do is I'll place a bench. A nice old bench for people to relax on, perhaps facing like this. And then we will place a bird bath. And this will just act as a place for people to relax, let their hair down, and not be so stressed out. And then I'm going to put a mine door here, which should act as a deterrent for anyone trying to invade the mine. Let's speed up time here while we wait for something interesting to happen. Well, I mean, are we really waiting, or are we just trying to create something interesting to happen? So have you leveled up Mrs. Mason? And you are about to level up. Oh, the trader returns. Ah, yes. So this was for the comfy bed, which means actually that I can lift this bed up. I think I will give the comfy bed, well, actually, I think I'll give the comfy bed to my potter when the potter is done sleeping. Because I think the potter has been working the hardest, so maybe they could use the comfy bed the most. So I'm going to lift that up, and then I'm going to replace it with a comfy bed when somebody gets to that task. We've done a lot of mining already for this early into a town. Okay, so we just lifted up that bed, and then we're going to place down the comfy bed. Right over here. You get that oriented. Like so. Somebody should go pick up that and place it fairly soon. They were talking about music, they're confused, they're talking about herbalism. Really cool. Oh, they were kind of like, had a neutral chat. Interesting. Oh, daily update. We don't have enough food, but we are working on it. We're on Deep Mon 9. Deep Mon 9. Deep Space 9. What is Deep Space 9? Is that like a Stargate thing? A Star Trek? Star Trek Deep Space 9? I don't remember. I never really watched Star Trek. Oh, goodness. Just making weird random references based on like half-remembered junk stuff. Okay, is somebody placing that bed now? I think somebody is placing the bed. And then we can assign this bed to the potter. So the potter gets to use the happy bed. There you go. So Rayya Umaya owns this bed now. This bed belongs to the stone basin. So I'm going to call this an end to this episode. I want to thank you guys very much for watching. Hope you guys are enjoying this series. Please remember to subscribe if you want to see more videos from me. Remember to leave a like if you want to directly support my channel. And remember to leave a comment if you want to give me your feedback. Other than that, I want to say I love you all very much. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.